Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Passionately Speaking, our weekly masterclass where we talk about public speaking and how we can use it to get clients and get our message out to the world and make a huge difference. Tonight, we are going to talk about community and how to build community with your audience. Because without community, no one is going to buy from you. No one's going to take your ideas and run with them. No one's going to have a change of heart or a change of life. So, in order to do that, we truly need to learn how to build community. Now, one of the ways that we can build community, hello there, hello, Cody, we've missed you the last few weeks. Hello, CJ. We've already got started, but I'm going to make you co-host. All right. So again, welcome. We're talking about community and how to build community. Well, hello, Cindy. All right. Okay, so again, welcome. We are just beginning to talk about how to build community. All right, hi, Cheryl. All right, so building community, we had to giggle because my community wasn't here and we're talking about how to build community. You know, not everybody. Oh, look at it. And Cody is a ghost. Corey is a ghost. He just went back behind the scenes. That was bizarre. You should go do it again. Show everybody. Go do that again. Watch. He's going to disappear. Watch. He's like ghosty. Ooh, all the way. More. Yeah, there you go. Now it's getting ghosty. Whoa, there, he lost his head. All right. Excellent. Okay, welcome, Janine. We got Janine joining us today on camera, and that's pretty cool, right? Yay, very cool. All right, so we're talking about community and how to build community with your audience. And one of the first ways you can start to build community is let them know what's going to happen. All right, so step number 3, right, is really letting them know how long your speech is going to be, what you're going to, and briefly, not what you're going to cover, but like the title, right? So before I share with you how you can build community with your audience, right? That's the carrot, that's the hook, that's the title of your speech. You know, for the next, wait a minute, for the next, let me go backwards for a second. So that is right before the next step, but this step is so for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you how to build community with your audience, right? And then we go to the second step. So the first step is letting them know how long you're going to speak for the next 30 minutes, for the next 15 minutes. And then what is going to happen. So I'm going to do it with you as an example. I'm going to share with you for about 20 to 25 minutes how to build community. And then tonight I have a speaking engagement at 4:30. So I'm going to have to jump off so we won't have our round table, and I have to use my system and everything. So we won't have our round table discussion today, but we will have it next week. See, everybody's okay with whatever you're going to do as long as you tell them ahead of time. No one likes surprises unless it's your birthday, right? And even then it better be a cool surprise or a gift, because if you're taking me somewhere on a surprise, I might not like it. So no one really likes surprises when it comes to something they expected to have happen and something different. So the very first way to build that community is to let your audience know what's going to happen. The next step and the next way is then to share a little bit about yourself. And when I say a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, I mean a little bit. This is not your whole history. It used to be that when we had more time, when we got an hour, 45 minutes, that we could have a longer story, anywhere between 5 and 7 minutes. But those days are gone. They're disappearing. Our time is fluttering away. And now we're lucky to have 15 minutes. my speaking engagement that's coming up tonight, I asked them how long do I have to speak, and I about dropped, to the floor because they said an hour. An hour. You never get an hour. I'm like, an hour? Holy cow, right? I mean, I speak here at half an hour every week, but it's just unheard of. And I said, oh, okay, great. Well, that's great. I'll speak 45 minutes to an hour. And they said, well, if you're not going to speak an hour, you let us know because we'll have to fill it with something. I'm like, oh, no, don't worry. I can go an hour. I can go 5 hours. I've gone full days, right? But the key is that we don't get that very often. I know you're all going, what speaking engagement? How can I go there, right? We get 15 minutes. So when we only have 15 minutes, our story has to be very, very, very brief. Maybe 3 minutes is what someone will tolerate, but that's about it. So that's the way number 2. We're talking about, and Luana is coming in. Hello, Luana. So that is number 2. Now, number 3, and I'm going to demonstrate this because number 1 and number 2 help you to build your not only rapport, but that helps you to build that community. The reason why we're building community is building rapport, right? Building rapport, building community. But it's so that we can have that community looking at us, loving us, liking us, right? And that's the first step. The second step, though, is to get them to like and talk to each other, which is very, very challenging in this virtual environment. And it is almost impossible, but it isn't. And I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to show you. Now, I've been, of course, as you know, we've been doing Zoom for over a year, and I've been doing it since 2015. And it has its place, and I've been speaking a lot more and speaking out of country and out of state and all of that. Yes, we got that. But I am telling you, there is nothing like the connection, the physical connection. And all of us right now are getting a yearning for it. We're getting yearning. How do we know? Because all of a sudden, have you noticed how many live events are happening? All of a sudden, I mean, CJ, you probably noticed, all of a sudden, everybody's going live. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I don't even know if I'm ready to go live, right? I'm going to an event, a SCORE Awards event in June that has been put off, for a year and a half. And the gal that runs it is also the chair of SCORE in Orange County. And she's put me in charge of the women's business conference that's annually. And yes, last year was the first year we did it virtually. And I was planning on doing it virtually this year. And all of a sudden she's like telling me that the hotel gal is ready for my call. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, right? And so now I have to wrap my head around doing it live, which it takes more time, more effort, and more money. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, to do a live event than it does a virtual event. So now I got to, wrap my head around. I mean, this is a not-for-profit. SCORE is a not-for-profit. I'm not doing it for anything other than, to give something back. And because I love the group, I'm not getting business. I get to pick the speakers, and do the emceeing. But other than that, it's not like there's an ROI here for me. Not a monetary one anyway. There's other ROIs, right, that we like in the world. But the key here is that the other thing I was going to say about that is I went to a live event last Wednesday, and there was this woman that I have been seeing at an event just like this. Many of you I have not met. Now, I've had the good fortune to meet Jackie. I've had and be with her and hug her and go to her house and eat tacos. And Jason, I've had, been around him for years. But Cheryl, I've never met you. I've never hugged you, right? I mean, Dr. Renee, I mean, we've been together. We've had lunch together. We've done events together. We spoke on stages before. We've hugged each other. I've hugged her dog. She's come to my training. I mean, just tons of stuff. Same with Ardina, same with CJ. I've never touched I better put on my glasses because I can't even see it. But I never touched Luana. I can't even see. Where's my glasses here? Right? Benita, I've never had the pleasure. Right? Arlene, I've never had the pleasure. Janine, I think we met sometime years ago. But,
Yes.
you know, it's different. So I met this woman that I've seen online and met online. And all of a sudden, here's the good news, bad news. The good news is it was instant rapport, right? Instant community. And she went, Arvee, yay, because we've been seeing each other so long. Instant rapport, instant hugs, all of that, right? And then afterwards, we stayed, we talked, we chatted, we did some collaboration work, blah, 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 blah. That would have never happened in this community, right? Or I don't want to say never. I'm not a never sayer, but wouldn't have happened that fast because I've been hanging out with her. And I thought, well, there's not that opportunity after the meeting to hang out one-on-one with people. People do breakouts, 3 or 4 people, but they don't do that one-on-one that we have in live events. So today, I want to give you all that opportunity because I haven't even given it to you. So who am I to say, hey, I don't get that unless you give that. So I'm going to give you an opportunity today to really be one-on-one with each other in this community and start building community, because many of you have been in classes with me. Recently, we just did a three series of Facebook, YouTube, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you've been, many of you have been there, right? I mean, there's only like 1% of you that have not. Why not? Why weren't you with us? But that's a way to build community, is to have other events, smaller events that people can come to. But nothing takes place at the one-on-one. So I am going to break you into, and we got exactly enough, one and one right now. And again, I'm going to need to leave, like I said, no later than 25 after, because I have a speaking engagement at 4:30. But I wanted to, and so there'll be some more instruction when you get out of the breakout room. So we're only going to go in the breakout room for about 5 minutes. But I want you to go in there with an intention. And that intention is to build community with each other. So you're each going to do your little 30-second introduction, because you got to start somewhere, right? 30-second introduction. Introduce yourself. Each of you do 30 seconds, 30 seconds. And then I want you just to take down all the barriers that we have in networking. And I just want you to look at each other and just connect, just chit chat, whatever comes up for you, right? Just chit chat. If you need like a starter, how do you know Arvee? How many classes have you taken? Use that as a bench warmer startup if you need to, but otherwise let's just build community with our own community, right? Okay, everybody game? Sound like a good idea? Awesome. All right. So you will have good. That's cool. Because all of you are fabulous people and speakers and business owners. How do I know you're fabulous? Because you wouldn't be attracted to me unless you were, right? Fabulous begets fabulous. Or begets, or however that word works. All right. So I'm going to break you up real quickly. All right. Oh, okay. Corey left. Oh, he just said his wife double booked him. Okay. Bummer. He could have used this session too. All right. So I'm going to break you up in, and then I'll pause the recording. So when I come back, CJ, make sure that you remind me to get it going. Otherwise, you'll all have a recording of me going do, 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 do. All right. So here we go. I'm going to just break you into 2. That's all I'm going to do. All right, there we go. Mwah. Go and connect and communicate and connect. 5 minutes. All right, Luana, you got to go in the room. Luana. There we go. There we go. All right. I'm going to pause the recording. All right. So welcome back, everyone. So I had a question, and that was, what was step number 1 and step number 2? Step number 1, remember, is to tell your audience what is going on. How long are you going to speak? And if there's anything else going on, just like I did. No one likes surprises. Number 2, you build rapport, trust and rapport, and community with your personal story or your professional story. And then 3, have a way that your audience can meet each other. Now, that was one way where you can have an event and say, pick an A and a B. B goes first, introduce yourself. I've seen people get up and go somewhere. I've seen them turn around to the person behind them, whatever it is in a live event. But what happens is when we're in this event, we don't get that. All we do is get breakouts of 3 and 4 people. And you can't really build community that way. It needs to be one-on-one. So be thinking about that for your next networking group and really let people really get connected, right? It's a lot different dynamics with just one person, you and them, than 3 or 4, and you're waiting for everyone to take their turn. And, someone in the room always wants to be the boss and it's not you, right? Right, CJ, you know what I mean? It's just like, there's always one, right? And so with one-on-one, you don't have that. And that's the beauty. So that's the next step. Now, if you have a live event, one of the things I do in my live events, if you've been, is I do selfie. I do a selfie 5 minutes, whatever it's called, right? Selfie time. So I do it right in the beginning on purpose. So I have the band play music or DJ or whatever it is, play music, and everybody gets like 2 minutes to go and take as many selfies with someone as they can. Now, when you do a selfie, you're getting close to someone. Of course, this is pre-pandemic. You're getting close to somebody. You're in their face. You're going, right? And we don't get that here. Or do we? Right? So, so you're going to want to be creative in this environment about how to make that connection with kind of a one-on-one kind of connection and have fun and build that kind of community. So those are 3 ways to build community. And I'm going to have to jump off now to go to the next speaking engagement. But I hope this helped. I hope you had some fun today, right? So now I hope you exchanged each other's phone numbers. If you don't, make sure you reach out in the Passionately Speaking group. But I hope that you did that. The other thing I wanted to mention before I go, of course, is tomorrow, and many of you've come, but tomorrow is my influencer network meeting. So how many of you have gone to that? It's only once a month. So it's a different kind of networking. It's not like our typical networking, but I open up my Rolodex to you. So you can meet people that are publishers, book coaches, podcasters, other speakers. I mean, you name it, and just, look, and we'll do this. Usually I do groups of 3 or 4, but I think I'm going to, on the second one, just do groups of 2, just like this. What do you think, CJ? You've been before. Just 2, maybe?
Yeah, that's interesting.
To collaborate?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's try it. I'm all experimenting and trying new things. Yeah. So it's free to go. It's only an hour from 8 to 9, and you never know who you're going to meet or who's going to meet you. There's somebody in that group that's coming tomorrow, and it's usually minimum 40 people on up to 70 people. So we're not talking about an intimate group like this. We're talking about a pretty good sized group. So if that's of interest to you, sign up. Like I said, it's free. It's only once a month. And it's, again, for you to find somebody to collaborate with, a power partner. A couple of, I'm getting reports now, and a couple of people that's reported back to me have already collaborated on some pretty big projects and some kind of barter exchange networking. And I know there's 2 people that I'm working with that I give them speaking engagements, they give them to me, right? That's how we've collaborated. They're on stages, I'm on stages, so we're exchanging. And I just talked to somebody today that he put me on his stage and I'm going to be putting him on mine. So I mean, that's the collaboration I'm looking for. So whatever collaboration you are looking for is what you want to look for tomorrow. All right. So it's not recorded. So it isn't anything that's recorded that you can go, because that doesn't make any sense. It's about connection, communication, and collaboration. All right. So I hope to see you again tomorrow. Again, always building my community, and all of you are such an important part of it. I love you all. Until we meet again, or I'll see you next week. Mwah. God bless. Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Arvee. Thank you, Ardina. Bye, CJ.
Bye.
Bye, Jason.